What is going on, guys? Hopefully you guys are having a good day today. We're going to be continuing covering the state of MFR. And boy, did we get some juicy stuff today, guys. We got some juicy stuff today. As you guys can see from the thumbnail, Cynical Alex has made a video talking about the situation. Now, yesterday in my stream, we were talking about, somebody was mentioning that Cynical Alex was going to be making a video. And that he mentioned that he was going to be making a video on his stream over on Twitch. Now, who is Cynical Alex? Cynical Alex is one of the biggest Marvel Future Fight content creators. He has like 167,000 subscribers, and he is just, if you don't know his name, you seen his face or somewhere before. If you haven't, well, damn. But so yesterday after the stream, I went over to the Twitch and was able to kind of see the stream again. And after a while, I finally found the spot where he said he will be making a video today. And so that confirmed what people were saying, that he was going to be touching up on it. The other thing, other question I had was this article that he was talking about came out in July. And I wonder, since he's talking about it now, I wonder if it's because Wolvethor's video. And then Wolvethor had a live stream last night and then I asked him there. Then he told me that he actually went and asked Cynical Alex. Then this morning, Cynical Alex ended up doing that video. I watched it, and at the very end, he gave a shout out to Wolvethor. Which, man, you got to give it up to the guy, man. He's on a mission. Wolvethor is on a mission, and I am glad that, he is standing up and fighting for us. Whether it's, he's trying to, make Korean subtitles. He's doing whatever he can. We're going to be looking at this because I feel like this is a good video to watch. If you haven't watched it, we will be listening to parts of it here. But before we get on to that, what is going on, guys? We got crappy pants in here. What up, Ali G? We got the Griffith. What up, YG? Ven 2K. What's going on, man? Ali is in here. Ali Gollop. Malai. I'm thinking MFR will be closed. I don't think it's gonna be closed because there in some stuff that we heard in the video, it looked like so when a game, after a while, the game doesn't need that much to maintain. So they don't need as much devs and stuff like that, right? So then they cut devs, and then those whatever few people are left are the ones that are just maintaining the game. It looks like MFR has reached that so quickly. That doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to have to hear that MFR is going to close. No, I think the MFR is still going to continue to fulfill that contract, which we think that it's a 5-year contract. The question is, it might be a little slow. It might be a little slow, and we might only just be seeing epic invasions coming in here, and then just new characters. And maybe Savage Shadowland might be the last story expansion for a good amount of time. hopefully what it reverts to is it starts just focusing on every 3 months a new character, and then a lot of the epic invasions are just going to be, you know, repeated, which that's okay. If we get a new one based on like movies and stuff like that, once a movie comes out, okay, that would be interesting. Hopefully they focus on, you know, fixing the main problems with the game, the lack of fodder, you know, keeping up with events, making good events, and just stuff like that. What's up, Montasar? We got Draconis in here. Happy Friday, everybody. Yes, it's Friday. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful day. What up, R-Easy? Cat Daddy, if you're dodging child support, you better hope Wolvethor isn't on the case. If Wolvethor's on it, man, he'll find you. Wolf, what's going on, man? I'm here for the chimney. What's the cheeseman? Oh, the cheeseman. The chimney. Andy with the haircut looking sharp up. Thanks, man. You know I got to. I gotta get the clean look going on here. 7S official. We're gonna be jumping in here. We're gonna be kind of like just skipping through this.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynical Alex, and today we have some pretty serious news about Marvel Future Revolution and Netmarble Monster, the company that actually takes care of Marvel Future Fight updates as well. However, I do want to point out at the beginning of this video that it was published, this article was published over a month ago. This is all the way back in July, the middle of July 13th. So this is like 6 weeks old at this point, which is actually kind of interesting because we may be seeing the first actual ramifications and negative effects of these changes that were reported on almost 2 months ago.
This came out, like I said before, this came out in July. This came out last month, and we really didn't hear anything about it. The only people that talked about it was a Korean news article. And that's interesting to me, guys. Why nothing was mentioned for a whole month, or why nobody really covered it here. We just didn't know. And the fact that, you know, I think Wolvethor got his hands on it because somebody was able to find this and send it to him, because there was no way I was going to be able to find something like this.
Now, if you try and read this, what I'm going to be showing you, it's not going to read very well because it's being translated through Google Translate from Korean. So that is why it's going to sound weird with phrases and idioms that just don't match. But I'm going to do my best to try and interpret what's being said. There's tons of restructuring. So here's an important thing to point out at the beginning. Netmarble Monster is a part of Netmarble, the larger company. That subsidiary, that Netmarble Monster group, is made up of about 400 employees, and they're responsible for pumping out content on games like Marvel Future Fight and Marvel Future Revolution, among others. But that's 400 entire employees. However, the company Netmarble is even bigger than that. And if you look into games like 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross or BTS and other things, you will find out that they're built by other subsidiaries like Netmarble Sugar or Netmarble Sweet, or I don't remember the names per se, but the theme is the same. They put Netmarble and then they put a word after it to designate these teams. The team attention is focused on the size of survivors. So this is really what's catching everyone's attention. 70% of the Marvel Future Revolution staff apparently has been relocated to other parts of the company or other games, essentially. So Netmarble's development subsidiary, Netmarble Monster, which we already discussed, has begun restructuring by reducing the live development team of its flagship game, its newest, biggest, most expensive game, Marvel Future Revolution. This is because, although Netmarble Monster's earnings continue to be sluggish, even Marvel Future Revolution failed at the box office. At the box office here would just be its launch. So From what we've seen, and the numbers absolutely support that. If you go on Reddit, you can see comparisons of the player bases. You know, Marvel Future Revolution basically never even had more players than MFF has now. And since then, those numbers have shrunk to the point where I believe in one of the last comparisons, Marvel Future Fight had 3 times as many players. That's really a bad sign if a new game, a brand new game with a brand new engine, cannot draw in even 1/3 of the players that exist on a 6-year-old game. I'm assuming back when it started, now it's a 7-year-old game, but the point is the same. So not only were Netmarble Monsters earnings bad overall, Marvel Future Revolution was also a somewhat of a failure, which is quite unfortunate. You never want to see this happen, but you know, maybe there's a lesson to be learned here.
My bad, guys. I see. The Marvel Future Revolution has never had the same amount, the audience or the player base as Marvel Future Fight. Marvel Future Fight has had 7 years. They're going on towards their 8th. And they were expecting Marvel Future Revolution to be kind of like the torch. Marvel Future Fight was going to pass on the torch. And Marvel Future Fight wasn't going to end. No, it was still going to continue. But they thought that Marvel Future Revolution was going to attract the attention and momentum of Marvel Future Fight. And it did in the beginning. It did. It was getting a lot of attention. And thanks to people like Cynical Alex, who were really excited for Marvel Future Revolution, they kept giving... that's why when you look back at when Marvel Future Revolution first, the first, like, the beta, the whole... It was getting a whole bunch of views. There was so many content creators on it. They were playing it, but as soon as people started to see the problems that we still see today, the amount of the amount of pay to win, or how much money you're gonna have to spend for one character, and the game is making you build all your characters out. Those are the things that they weren't really expecting, and now it's failed. And now they're forced to kind of go into this, when the game, and he mentions this later on, but after a game launches, right? In order to get the game going, you need all these people working on the game. And once the game is going, you don't need that many people to keep the game running. So then you start moving other people around to other games and stuff like that. And then 30% or around there gets left to maintain the game. And Marvel Future Revolution has already got to that stage, unfortunately. So what that means is we're probably going to get like the same repeated stuff over and over again. I'm not going to really expect anything too crazy, but that's honestly, if they just make events, really good events, they fix these little fodder problems here and stuff like that, stuff that 30% of devs can do. We don't need no more new game modes. We're okay with the game modes. Fix what is already there. That's it. Just fix what's already there. Work on the little bugs here and there. And trust me, this game will continue. I don't feel like this game is going to end. So let's continue before I get off track here.
In a situation where the parent company Netmarble turned a loss on a quarterly basis for the first time in 10 years, there is a cold current going around Netmarble, and it's being interpreted that the subsidiary with poor performance started this self-management first. So basically what they're saying here is that Netmarble, the parent company, posted a loss, a quarterly earnings loss for the first time in 10 years. For any business, that is super impressive that they went 10 years, right? 40 quarters without an earnings loss. However, it's also bad that they finally posted an earnings loss, and that means that maybe their grip on the mobile market, gaming market is slipping, or their ideas and their strategies and who they're, the games they're pushing out are just not reaching the same audience as they did before. And frankly, that sort of lines up with what we just said about MFF and MFR, right? MFF, a 7-year-old game, is somehow managing to keep more active players than their brand new games. So something is amiss here, right? They're missing the mark here. And
honestly, and this brings up another good point. So many things that a lot of people have to say about Netmarble is the fact that they're always like this. They never change. They're always silent. They're always, they never really listen, or they're always so greedy at first. And that is true to a point. When you think about it, they never listen, but they're always getting that money in. They've always been doing good. But now they're struggling. They're struggling hard, and stuff like this is when this is putting their back against the wall. And maybe now, finally, they're gonna start doing stuff that we've been asking, from every community, from every Netmarble game, who's always saying like, "Why are you like this? Why are every time a Netmarble is behind the game? Why is Netmarble always so greedy? Or why are you guys so silent? Why you guys are just take forever to communicate? Or why do you guys make these changes that really kill the game and make it so pay to win?" Maybe finally, when their back's against the wall, they're losing, they might start throwing some Hail Marys out there and start doing some changes that we finally deserve. And hopefully this is what it leads to.
And so it seems like Netmarble Monster engaged this self-management and this downsizing prior to those Q2 earnings coming out. They sort of already saw that there needed to be a downsizing, probably looking at how much revenue was coming in versus the operating cost, etc. So here we go. According to the industry on the 13th, Netmarble Monster left only 30% of the employees on Marvel Future Revolution production team in the development team. So this is startling. However, I do want to point something out. The difference between
So this part right here, actually, guys, pay attention to this part. Let me rewind it a little bit.
So this is startling. However, I do want to point something out. The difference between a production team and a development team, those are two different things. When a game first comes out, you have a production team because they're producing the game. That team often needs to be much larger than the team that's going to take over once the game is out, right? It's just something that is normal in gaming, in the gaming industry. And you can see that where big companies like even Bethesda, whatever, they pump out these huge games and then they continue to service them for years and years and years. But generally speaking, they're also working on new games in the background. That's not possible unless they've, dedicated smaller groups to these ongoing games, while the larger group tackles the much more difficult task of building a game up from scratch, right? It's a lot easier to push a car when it's already rolling than to push the car when it's at a standstill. That's probably the best analogy I have for you on the fly here. So it's not unusual for production teams to drastically downsize after a game is out. However, in this case, it definitely has a lot to do with how much money Marvel Future Revolution is bringing in. And if you actually look at the game now and you talk to players, there's not a lot going on in the game. There are events missing. There's not much fanfare at all for the anniversary. And that definitely causes players to panic, wondering if the game is going to be around for much longer.
Guaranteed, man. That is, that is exactly what's going on right now. We're not getting no fanfare anniversary. Though they could, it looks like now they were already kind of going behind the scenes, moving stuff around. And that's why they've just been really, really silent. The question now is how long is this silence going to take before they actually say something? And can they not say anything, or they just choose not to say anything because they just don't know what's going to happen with the game?
Longer. Now, that's speculation on my part, but it's fair to say that the players are, not only in an unhappy state, but they're also worried about the future of that game. And so the transfer of those remaining 70% of the employees were sent to other development in-house teams, so developing other games or other Netmarble affiliates. Like I mentioned, not all Netmarble games are run under Netmarble Monster. They're sort of divided out. They're probably based on the specialization, so it's not a coincidence that MFF and MFR are both housed under Netmarble Monster. If they have a lot of really good talent that's capable of pumping out, Marvel IP related stuff, RPG related stuff, those things fall under similar categories. Therefore, it makes more sense logistically if the same company is taking care of that. And maybe another subsidiary, Netmarble, Sugar, whatever, is taking care of more like turn-based games or games, sensationalism. You have to take that into consideration with these articles. Sensation, like a different genre or subgenre. So it's also reported that some of the development team's personnel has been advised to resign. Now here's where you get into some of the, sensationalism. You have to take that into consideration with these articles. I don't want to be too technical, but they're trying to get you to click on the article. They're trying to get you to read the whole article. So they have to keep these spicy things going with emotions and drama and, controversy and stuff like that. And if you actually go to the end of the article, they mention that the success of Netmarble Monster and the success and the reputation of the CEO has largely been a factor in why this is getting so much attention, right? It's also a factor that's drawing attention to the situation. It's not a coincidence. If this was a smaller company or a different company, they may not be reporting on this at all. So it's difficult to parse how much of this is serious, issue, systemic issues that the company is having and problems with Marvel Future Revolution and sort of red flags, and how much of this is just sort of, general restructuring.
Also, this is translated from Korean to English, so some of these words might not be, it might sound like, whoa, but in, I guess the best way to put it is like in Spanish, you can say some stuff in Spanish that means like, it sounds worse than what it is, but when you translate it to English, it doesn't sound that worse. Or in Spanish, it sounds normal, but in English, when you translate it, you're like, oh my God, why would you say that? Because it sounds different when you translate it. So keep that in mind, guys, that sometimes, like, because this is translated, it could mean that, it doesn't necessarily mean as bad as it does.
Time where most of the world is going through at least a bit of a recession, with inflation and stuff like that. So, and supply and demand issues. So, I don't want to be too doom and gloom, but if I were you, my advice here is I would stop spending money on Marvel.
You guys see this? So hold on. Let's rewind that. Let's rewind that. Pay attention what he's about to say, okay? He's about to give you some advice. And we're going to talk about this.
If I were you, my advice here is I would stop spending money on Marvel Future Revolution. That might sound bad because it's like, Alex, if the game is struggling and you're telling players not to spend money, the game is just going to struggle harder. Yeah, I guess, but that's not really the player's fault. That's the developer's fault. So they need to do something about their game. And I'm just from the point of view of someone who is trying to give you advice for your best interests, that would be my advice. I'm not saying that you should stop playing the game. I don't think it's that kind of situation. If you're still having fun with the game, have fun with the game. Who cares, right? Doesn't matter. But I would say just be cautious with your spending, or maybe just pause your spending for a little bit to see what the company comes out at, like to see what the developers come out and say. If they acknowledge this and they say, we're dedicated to servicing this game for the next few years, but it's obviously going to be slower, then you can make a decision on whether you want to keep spending or not, right? So, that's sort of my advice here. And then
so what he's saying is he's saying his advice is don't stop spending until they say something like, look, we are going to continue to support this game for years to come. It's going to take a little slower, but for now, where we don't know exactly what's going on with the game, and they're dropping people, and it could be a good sign or it can be a bad sign. We don't know right now, so everything's up in the air. The best thing, and he makes sense. He says, don't stop playing, keep playing. But when it comes to spending, just think twice before you spend. If you want to spend, go ahead and spend. And if you don't know and you don't know if the game's gonna stay a while, then just wait a minute. Because who knows? Maybe they might start getting, because since their back is against the wall, they need to find other ways. They might just be like, you know what? Here's an example. In Marvel Future, correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. In Marvel Future Fight, is it for a whale that spends money on MFR, can they jump in to Marvel Future Fight will they notice, wow, I can actually, the same amount of money that I'm putting in Marvel Future Fight and I put in Marvel Future, the same amount of money I put in Marvel Future Revolution is way more in Marvel Future Fight. I can get a lot more out of Marvel Future Fight than I can in Marvel Future Revolution. If that is true, that you're able to get with $20, you can go way farther than in Marvel Future Revolution, in Marvel Future Fight, then maybe they need to do the same thing to Marvel Future Revolution. Get it to where that $20 normally just gets you what? A 10 pull? Or it doesn't really get you that far, right? In Marvel Future Revolution. What if they made it to where a $20 can get you some pretty good resources? And it doesn't cost as much as it normally did. They might start making changes like that. You can spend right now. But for me, what I am going to do is I'm gonna be more, the way I'm doing it now is when it's a good deal, I spend, and when there's no deals, I still spend. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna wait, and if there's good deals, I'll spend on good deals, but I'm not gonna spend anymore on without. If you guys understand what I'm saying. But if they bring the companion selector boxes again for $44 and you get 5 of them, sold. That's a big bang for your buck.
Anyways, they go on to give some more information about Netmarble Monster and when they were founded and sort of the hit games that they've started that sort of built up their reputation, like Marvel Future Fight. Marvel Future Fight's honestly one of the biggest games for Netmarble Monster. But since then, it seems like they haven't really had a hit. You know, they had to cancel a lot of games. They had to cancel Star Wars Force Arena. Not cancel, but like close it after just a short amount of time because they just weren't hits. So it says new works using intellectual properties such as Star Wars and Marvel and BTS, pretty big, were produced but failed to succeed.
Now, let's look at BTS, all right? That's like what is that? The Asian Korean band thing? They're like freaking big, okay? I think that's what that is. That failed, which you would have never expect, right? Star Wars, a game, failed. What is it? Yoki Watch Metal? I don't know about that. All I know is Star Wars and BTS, things that you would think that would make a lot of money. Why did it fail? It's because Netmarble came in freaking greedy as hell. I don't know exactly what was it with BTS, but I know Star Wars arenas, they were, correct me if I'm wrong here, but weren't they just super greedy with these games?
In 2020, they recorded 24 million. It's about 24 million US or 24 billion won in sales, and 14 or 15 billion in operating loss. So they're still posting a profit, but not as large. Like they're not dominating the way that they used to. And so they were really hoping, they were really banking on Marvel Future Revolution to make that comeback, and that's what this this paragraph is saying, but it also failed. So they only recorded about 30 million in sales and about 10 million in operating loss. But I guess considering the number of workers, there was like over 100 people producing the game, the amount of manpower doing that, they sort of expected to get more of a return, because you got to think about it. You only have so many employees as a business, and if you're putting all of your employees to focus on this new product and that product doesn't succeed very well, you've had to pay the salaries of all these employees, and now you have to pay the marketing to market this new product that you've been working so hard on. If it's not succeeding really well, then it puts you in a tight position, right? If you don't have a lot of cash sitting to fund the next project, you're in trouble. Or you got to start thinking, am I going to go with a big team for the next one after this one failed? Or am I going to split my teams up and try for multiple smaller projects with smaller budgets when I have more chances of success, right? It's sort of like big risk, big reward versus smaller risk, smaller reward type of scenario. So yeah, that's basically what the article is saying. They go on to say stuff about, resigning versus Netmarble trying to keep everyone, and just sort of like positive spin on it, negative spin on it, sort of go to MFF. Probably not, I would guess, because MFR left now.
So right here, what he's about to say is a question that I had last stream was like, when you hear that they're moving up like 70% of their devs to or resources to another departments and like other games, I thought, oh, I wonder if they're moving in some of them to Marvel Future Fight. And he kind of says the same thing here.
I know a lot of you are thinking, those developers, did they go to MFF? Probably not, I would guess, because MFF has been in sort of maintenance mode as far as ongoing games for quite a while now. However, what I would say, my speculation that I would give for Marvel Future Revolution is probably something that we can take insight from MFF on. And what that means is, I think what they're going to try to do, my guess, anyways, my speculation, is that maybe they're going to try and turn MFR, Marvel Future Revolution, into another version of MFF in the way that they're going to try and slow down the updates a little bit. They're going to try and, reduce the amount of workers so that they can still pump out content, but at a slower pace. And they're going to see if they can, with a greatly reduced budget, if they can still maintain their profits at a healthy margin, So even though they're reducing the team by 70%, if the profits only go down by 10%, that's a win, right? So to see if you can, it's sort of a profit of workers. So in the way that, anyways, my speculation.
So I had to rewind this because this is a very important what he's about to say right here. And this is some positivity also to shed on the situation, that this necessarily doesn't mean a bad thing. They could mean it's just, in general it is a bad thing, but it doesn't mean that this game's going to shut down. But what he's going to explain right here is very important. Now pay attention to what he's about to say.
Is that maybe they're going to try and turn MFR, Marvel Future Revolution, into another version of MFF in the way that they're going to try and slow down the updates a little bit. They're going to try and, reduce the amount of workers so that they can still pump out content, but at a slower pace. And they're going to see if they can, with a greatly reduced budget, if they can still maintain their profits at a healthy margin, So even though they're reducing the team by 70%, if the profits only go down by 10%, that's a win, right? So to see if you can, it's sort of like driving full throttle and pumping as much gas as possible into the engine and going as fast as you can versus, knowing when to brake, knowing when to stop putting on the gas, using the downhills to sort of save on gas and stretching that gas mileage. I feel like MFR is probably transitioning into that stretching the gas mileage phase a lot sooner than they would have hoped. They probably wanted to go full throttle on the game and make like hundreds of millions of dollars for at least a couple of years, at least a few years. And then that would probably justify leaving the game on a more eco-friendly mode for longer. So, that's purely my own speculation, but that's how I sort of see things. MFF used to come out with these big, massive updates full of marketing. We had videos, we had all this stuff. They produced extra content, whatever. They had live streams, blah, blah, blah. Now we're getting into the second phase. But again, we had that sort of heyday for like 3-4 years, right? With Bill Roseman tweeting out stuff and X-Men and all this, MFR, that 3 or 4 year heyday was like 6 months, maybe less.
So this is actually some good. I'm glad that he made this pretty clear to me and opened up my eyes to like think about it, because yesterday we talked about it. Dylor, Godslave were mentioning this, that they could just, could actually be a good thing. And then Dylor was saying that they might just go into a repetitive state where we're just gonna get to this point where we're gonna get the epic invasions. They're gonna reuse the epic invasions every 3 months, get like a new hero, and we're gonna get events and stuff like that, and new bundles. But there's nothing. I think squad battles was probably the last thing we're gonna get when it comes to like a new mode or something for a very long time. When it comes to like a new modes and stuff like that, I think that squad battles is the last of it. And the last part of the story until a very long time from now is gonna be Savage Shadowland. Savage Shadowland is gonna be the last part, and then from there on, we're just going to see the same things. We're just going to see refreshed events, new bundles, maybe some companions. Definitely, I think companions, but and then epic invasions, and then just tweaking out, and hopefully they make the fodder drop more better. And that's it. But we're not going to see anything too crazy for a good while. But that's still good. If they come out with good events, if they keep coming out with good events and then good bundles, and so whales are going to keep spending and stuff like that. And if we can get like a new character, I don't know if it's going to be 3 months now. But if we end up getting a new character in 3 months, then this game will survive. You know, in Marvel Future Fight, they got the She-Hulk companion already teased over there, Marvel Future Fight, which was teased yesterday. So I'm like, okay, maybe we might get a She-Hulk companion on ours, or Miss Marvel, or maybe Miss Marvel and She-Hulk at the same time. Who knows? Right now, honestly, I don't care about what companion we're going to get. I don't care when Savage Land is going to drop. I don't care what new heroes coming. I don't care what new mode is coming. All I care about right now is the game is there a plan set for years to come? Because being hyped for all that right now, as much as I want to be hyped for all that, it doesn't matter if we don't know if the game's going to survive, if they plan to keep the game running. Now, the clear point here is pretty clear. The game is going to be running, you know, for a good amount, maybe, you know, another year or two. But if they come out and say, hey, we plan to keep this game strong for years to come, we need that more than ever right now for them to say that. So communication, back communication, why communication is so important. Right now they need to communicate with us, letting us know that we're working on getting everything ready, situated. We are, you know, I don't know, touch up on it. Let us reassure us that it's okay for us to, you know, keep building towards our spending and stuff like that, because you guys are not going to go anywhere.
So that's sort of how I see things, but my guess would be they want to sort of see if they can stretch the twilight of MFR's success as long as possible. Because if you the sooner you cut the game, again, I'm not making excuses for why the game is going to last longer or whatever. I'm not trying to give you like copium. But if you kill the game sooner, you know, you don't have anything you can do now with all that work, right? All that work they put in the back end for years, building up the engine, building up all the models and whatever, all the environments, the sound effects, the voice acting, right? All that is already sunk cost. It's already sunk cost. So at this point, they're probably just like, okay, let's stretch this out as long as we can with as little operating budget as possible, and see if we can continue to you know, make returns on this. And maybe after 3, 4, 5 years, it'll seem more like a success. Not necessarily a success, but like it's not a loss anymore. It's not an L anymore, right? So yeah, that's sort of my take on it. I would love for some of the MFR devs to come over to MFF. It would be really cool if they tried to like...
Never. We need him. No, but what he's saying here is, if they're gonna go to another game, it would be nice for them to go to MFF. But I remember when I first saw this, I was like, "What? Like, what do you mean? Are you trying to take our devs or what?" But no, he's only talking about the devs that were moved.
Revitalize MFF and like, yo, can we have another heyday in MFF? Because I think one of the biggest things, not to like toot my own horn or whatever, but one of the biggest things that I think MFR was lacking that MFF doesn't lack is social media presence. And it's really hard because the way that mobile games work is they're trying to appeal to spenders, right? Of course, they're going to have tons of free-to-play players, but ultimately they're gathering 100 players knowing that 99 of those players are going to be free-to-play, but that one player is going to spend a lot of money.
See what he's saying? You know, when people say, even though there's not that many, you look at what Undead Dead or whatever Dead. What's that guy on the forums that puts the charts, that does the charts? Something Deadpool. This is Deadpool. The Deadpool guy that puts the the charts on the Discords, showing how many people are playing in the servers and what it is now. And well, even though we're like, we only have like 35,000 people playing MFR. If 100 new players come in, right, and 1% of that, 1%, just 1% turns into a whale, that is actually successful. Because when it comes down to what's going to keep the game going, it's going to be the whales. The whales, all you need is a couple whales. Out of 1,000 people, a handful of whales is all you need to keep the game running. That's why I always said, like, I'm not mad at the whales. We need the whales. We as much as we need all these good deals and stuff for free to play to, like, be like, look, come here, guys, come here. Look, we got this. Oh, we got Spider-Man over here. You can play as Spider-Man, customize. Oh, look at these story modes. You want them to come in, but then you need low offers to kind of get these free to play to start kind of thinking like, oh, that's only $1. Oh, that's only 10. You want to slowly start turning them into whales. But once you're whales, we're talking about people are spending like 500 a week, 500 a month, 1,000 a month, a couple thousand a month. That's a lot. And that's just one whale. One whale.
But gathering whales and attracting whales to your game doesn't really work when there's no social media presence. There's no YouTube presence. There's no Twitter. There's no, like, would you rather spend a bunch of money in a game where no one's going to notice that you spent the money if you're trying to?
So yes, this actually does make a point. Okay, as a whale and you're spending a lot of money, you want to make sure that you're like, what's the point of being the strongest if there's like nobody there around? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of being one of the best players if there's like nobody there around to kind of be like, oh man,
a flex? No, you're gonna want to go to the game where people make content about it and it's like more talked about. There's active, big communities where they can be like, they can appreciate and maybe, whatever, your flex. That's the whole point of flexing. People don't flex when they're alone. They flex in public so people can see. But the sort of public for MFR is so much smaller than the public community for even like MFF, that I think that's one of the things that hurt them. And it's probably going to continue to hurt them, for as long as the game is out. So, yeah.
So I think right here, man, right here is my favorite part of this whole video. This is what Wolvethor comes in.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? That's just my take on it. That's my speculation. Hit me down below with your comments on this. Thank you so much to Wolvethor. I apologize for not thanking you at the beginning of the video, but he originally came out with this video, like with this article. So I would not have seen it if it wasn't for him. So if you are interested in MFR content, absolutely go check out Wolvethor's YouTube channel. I'll leave a link below in the description. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.
So that right, when I saw that, I was like, whoa! Oh man! It's a big shout out to Wolvethor, man. Wolvethor with that video, because I remember waking up and looking at my phone and just getting these messages saying, hey, did you see Wolvethor's video? Did you see Wolvethor's video? I was like, what's going on, man? Like, let me wake up. Damn. And I go in, I look at it, and I'm seeing this, and I'm just like, oh my God. And you knew that it was going to be a big video, or it was something big. And look, it even got Cynical Alex's attention. He made a video on it, and now we're breaking it down, covering it. So we have the biggest content creator for Marvel Future Fight, or one of the biggest content creators for Marvel Future Fight, bringing a huge light into the situation, which it wouldn't be possible if Wolvethor did not land that discovery and did that video. So big shout out to Wolvethor, guys. What up, Vladimir? Congratulations from Brazil. Pernambuco, Petrolia. I hope I didn't say the middle one wrong, man. Thank you. So this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. This is now what, to just clear things up here, guys. the game is 100%. I don't think the game is not going to die. It's not going to crash. It's not going to do nothing. It's going to continue. They're going to stretch this out. They're going to stretch this out, and they're going to continue to, see how far they can keep this going. And right now, the whales are even more valuable than ever before. Now, I hope that what this does is this brings in attention. I mean, what this brings in, like, their focus, instead of new modes like squad battle and stuff like that, they start focusing on, like, maybe we now start looking into their fodder problem. Since we don't know, let's just say, all right, we're not really going to start working on big things. Maybe the only thing that they're going to be working on that's going to be new is going to be a new character. I hope so. But they could just be like, we can now, let's just start focusing at these core problems. Maybe this whole time they were like so busy with squad battles, and squad battles need some help too. It needs to just get polished up more, and that's going to take some time. It needs to say squad battles beta. That's what it needs to say. I don't think that's it. The mode is definitely buggy and stuff like that. Now the question is, should you guys save up your money or start spending continuing? I think that just be more cautious when you're spending. If you're somebody that always spends, if you're spending like, if every month you're spending like $100, right? Let's just say that you're spending $100 and you're always spending that regardless if there's good deals or not. I would recommend, if there is a good deal there, get it. Spend. But if there isn't, just save it, and when there is good deals, you'll have more money to spend on those good deals, because that's what I'm gonna do. So normally I get all the good deals, and then I'll spend a little bit. I'll spend more even if it's not good deals, just to get fodder, stuff like that. Now I'm just gonna be smarter and just be more cautious, in hopes that maybe they're going to start making they're increasing better deals and stuff like that. They might make it to where you can level up your guy even faster, and the deals, it makes more sense. Because if I'm going to spend, like, if I had a choice between Marvel Future Fight and Marvel Future Revolution, right? If they were both the same style game, right? If they were both the same style game, I would want to spend my money on Marvel Future Fight, because over there, my $100 goes along farther than what my $100 in this game goes. So if they can change it to where my $100 actually goes pretty far in this Marvel Future Revolution game as well, then I'm sold on Marvel Future Revolution. All right, what do you guys think? Let me look in the chat. Pantheon says, I disagree. Don't spend, waste of money and time until they give a solid response. That's a perfect good reason. Can't argue with that. Adam Doom says, I recommend if you see a good deal, then go ahead and get it. No point in holding out for something they may never come. Just enjoy the game now. Yep. And that's true. Enjoy the game. What I'm going to do is I am going to continue to play Marvel Future Revolution. I'm going to be here until the wheels fall off, until they shut it down. Covering it, playing it, because I am having fun. Wolverine's new update was amazing. The events and the free crystals, the free special cards, and I just, I loved it. And I'm having a really good time playing Wolverine. And I'm gonna continue to play. I'm gonna go in there, do my alliance raids with my alliance. Especially since my alliance is still there, I'm going to keep playing this game. I still have fun. At the end of the day, guys, if you're having fun playing this game, continue to play it. A lot of people stopped spending. They felt like they're not sure whether the game's going to continue or not. That's understandable. I had a lot of people tell me that they got like refunds. A lot of people are just deleted the game. But at the end of the day, do what you think it's right. We don't know if this is going to be good for the game. We don't know if this is going to be bad for the game. All I know is that I'm still having fun playing the game. There is problems wrong with the game. definitely. But if they can focus on the core problems of the game and increasing the fodder, the rewards for dailies, we don't need no more new modes. I understand. A new mode, like we just got squad battles. We'll see how that happens. But how much resources does it need to make a new mode? I'd rather, you know what, just polish up the game you have right now, fix it to where you level up faster, and you know, and trust me, even if they do that, you're not gonna be a whale in no time. But if your $100 goes a lot farther than it does now, that's gonna be good. Sith Lord Snake, what's going on, man? 30 days or left on the Wolverine stuff. Plenty of time to act on that stuff and wait for communication, in my opinion. Yeah, the Wolverine update is, you know, it's keeping us busy. What up, Sky? They should make rewards look worthy for grinding. Yeah, I think or like events. Sometimes they did a good one where it's like grindable stuff. You know, as long as they add events that have good rewards and you're able to like grind out like bosses in the world, I'm all up for it. Honda JDM says, I have no idea what that language is. Sorry about that, Honda. Let's see. Corey, what up, man? Fodder problem solution: adding a second Omega Pass, and each tier gives 5 1-star costume box with 100 tier. Whatever it is, honestly. Whatever it is. Even if it's just increasing the amount of, or maybe just adding fodder drops to like when you're when you're farming mobs, when you're going to sleep and you just leave your guy out in a region fobbing mobs, and if they're dropping some fodder as well, that's also good. If you get the RNG, like when you're doing 10 pulls, the chances of you getting like 4s are higher. That would be good. Including 3-star fodder guaranteed, and with the chance of getting a regional 3-star fodder from doing your dailies. You know, there's all these different things that they can do. My Wolverine slaps. I have no regrets. I know, man. I love my Wolverine, and it's keeping that fire going for me. Even at times like this where I feel worried about the situation, but you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy the game. Wolverine was their swan song. They can install all they want. They'll be back. Serious people delete accounts. Turn music down a bit, please. Turn music down. There is no music. Oh wait, let me see. Maybe the song ended. What's good, Andy? What up, Swavey? Yeah, they need to bring back the open world villain events. Yeah, throw in a good villain, make them way strong, where you need a lot of people to kind of jump in. But I don't think that they should make it to where the top player gets the most points. I think they can just split it up evenly. Where as long as that guy is getting killed, everybody gets good rewards. I don't know. How do they do that in other games? Is it always the guy that does the most damage, which is going to be the whale, gets the most goodies out of it? How do they do that on other games where they do it the right way? Ven2K says the game is beautiful. It is, man. This is one of the best looking games on mobile, and it, you know, for Marvel, as like, look, one of the things that like sold me on this game was like, I can be Iron Man, and look, I'm flying around the map. I can go over here and beat up these mobs, and I'm getting little tiny goodies. When I first started playing the game, those were the things that I was looking at. I was like, look at the quality of this. And I'm like, and I played Spider-Man, I'm swinging around and I'm looking at his costumes. I was like, oh, I can make my guy look my own. I can make him look so different than everybody else's. But then once I started getting into the point where it's like, oh, I can't progress the story because I need to get my squad. And I'm like, how do I get my squad up? And then like, okay, if I only want to play Spider-Man, this game forces you to play other heroes, which sucks for some people. They're like, I just want to level up my Spider-Man. Why do I have to level up all my other heroes? Okay, I see the music is still going. Sorry if the music was loud. I just looked at my mixer and I noticed that the music was hitting almost the yellow section. That's too high. Mate J-Ka. Funny thing is, they always got the reward systems correct in Blitz. That even if you deal 0 damage, you could still get a 6-star badge. Might as well implement that in the boss rush or something. Yeah. Where the rewards are all random. So it doesn't matter if you wail or not. As long as you guys as a team destroy that guy, the rewards are all random. On the villain events, the most damage dealt shouldn't be a factor. Rewards should be distributed equally amongst all participants. Yeah, I agree. That's if they bring out a mode like that and stuff like that. But that should be how it is for what is it? Blitzes? I mean Dark Zone. But in Dark Zone, people don't really kill the primes. They kill the little minis, the mini bosses. So, because at Dark Zone, when a prime shows up, I'm over there fighting it, and there's a lot of, my alliance around, and next thing you know, it's just me fighting the guy, and me and another person, which are the only, like, top, because I'm like, all right, I'm in 3rd place. But there's, like, I'm the 3rd guy there. Everybody else is already moving on to a mini boss. I'm like, oh, okay. And why? Because they want their enough fodder for their cards. Yeah, so it's definitely something that we're gonna keep on covering, and hopefully that this right here is a lot of people. What they're saying is, why are you guys covering this stuff? It's only going to destroy the game. In reality, it's not. Like Cynical Alex said, they put this on themselves. It's not our fault. We love the game. We want to continue playing it. But what's going to happen if I don't cover this? I'm going to get nothing but messages saying like, "Oh, Andy, why are you ignoring what's going on? Why are you not talking about the real situation?" So either way, I'm going to get slack. That's the truth. So I'm going to choose what I feel like I want to talk about, and this is the thing that I want to talk about. This is the thing that's going on. They should give us 10 crystals per points. They should bring back the crystals in Dark Zone, period. Like, you get like 10 crystals for like every prime that you kill or something like that. Or 20 crystals. Everybody gets it. PTO, prime target. Yeah. I meant for the events like Green Goblin we got. Yeah, I understand what you meant. I said that, but they should implement that in like DZ as well, like in other stuff. Where people are like, what's the point if there's this whale here, he's going to get the best results. Or when I do, like what you're saying, when they do the special event and Loki's around and the person that gets the most damage gets the most tokens, everybody should get the same amount of tokens, honestly. What up, Zach? What happened at game? What's the news? So the news that came out today was the fact that Cynical Alex has made a video talking about what Wolvethor brought up yesterday. And then he explained his thoughts on the situation. And we covered that here. And then Imagine if Dark Zone main hub and you could farm bosses for actual rewards. If Dark Zone was open just 24/7, you could just walk around and just farm. But for like 30 minutes, like everything increases. Something like that, right? But in order for that stuff to happen in this stage that they're in, that stuff like that is not going to happen. The thing that are most likely to happen is whatever's in the game, it's going to stay, and they're just going to polish up whatever they can, and hopefully they increase the drop rates and the fodder situation. And if they're going to bring something new, I want them to rather focus. If they're going to have one team on making something new, it should be on a new character. Because right now, they're gonna the characters and the epic invasions that they only have to worry about for like a movie or something. Because trust me, the MCU is always gonna be dropping a movie. You know, you don't have to wait that long. And between the time of a movie coming out before the next one, you can reuse the old epic invasions. Godslave says Black Panther companion confirmed. Yeah, so who which what sucks, man. And I hope, we still get new players in. It could be like, like more Future Fight. What's going on over there? It looks like all they're getting is just new skins and some new shop deals and stuff like that. If that's the case, then we might get, we might hit that part of the stage here now. We're just going to get repeated epic invasions, and like every 3 months, instead of skins, we're going to get a new hero. Which, if they're smart, it would be Wakanda, Black Panther. And I bet you he's probably going to have the same running style as Wolverine and Captain America. It's okay. Use whatever you can, but keep them feeling different from each other. Because Wolverine has a lot of stuff that, feels like Captain America, but it feels like Wolverine. They do a good job when it comes to like new characters. My Fat Turtle says, Andy, I don't see them spending the money to do movie promo themes. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't get no more movie themed stuff. I wouldn't be surprised. Imagine being a regular player, coming in game, getting your first level 122 and thinking you're okay, then getting an Omega or Dark Zone. Getting one-shotted. Yeah. See, with the new players, they think that you're going to get to 120 and you're going to be doing good. New players don't know that once you get a 120, you're going to get one-shotted. The real thing you want to level up is your gear. I don't care about the level 120. I care about getting my gear fully leveled. Don't level up non-regional. Level up regional. And make sure you have good stats. Sometimes that you have let's just say you have an Xander, right? But you see everybody rocking Sakaar for Spider-Man. All right? But your Xander's gear has the best rolls, and you have 4 dodges on your gauntlet on Xander. But in your Sakaar set, you have horrible dodges, but everybody recommends Sakaar. So there you go, it's Sakaar, and you just dropped a really, really good set that you could be using while you're getting your Sakaar set up and running and ready to take over. So the stats are very important. Because we see people like Juicy, like Godslave, rocking gear that, Godslave's rocking Dark Domain on his Spider-Man, and he's doing good. Juicy's rocking Hydra gear on his Spider-Man, he's doing good. They're not like top dogs taking over the leaderboards, but still, they're doing really good. Ismail says, wait until they come with legendary 7-star gear and 10 nanos. 10 nanos? Oh man, legendary gear and stuff like that. The biggest, like, okay, so for in other games, right? You do blitzes and you do all this other stuff. Okay, for example, Diablo, you do the dungeon or you do the little, whatever that little thing is called, right? And at the end, you open the chest and there's all this stuff in there. But, or when you're destroying mobs, what really gets people excited is when a legendary drops out of there. And you don't get that here in this game. You don't get like a chance for a legendary to drop. You don't have that feeling. Sith Lord Game says cards over gear, over badge slots, over badges. Yeah, all that. And then you got to min-max, spend hours min-maxing. Which can be a hassle, and some people just don't want to deal with, like, okay, I just want to put gear on it and that's it. Like, well, that's fine, you know, but you're going to get one-shotted. And when you get one-shotted, you're like, why do I get melted so easily? Well, maybe you're just because you're not min-maxing. That's the problem. Trust me, once you start min-maxing, I can have the same, I can lower my power level, but be way stronger with min-maxing. Like, you know, some people just focus on attack. Yeah, because it gets your power level up. Oh, you would think that you'll be super strong, right? Nope. You're still going to get one-shotted because you didn't min-max your build. I wonder if they will make the mistake to introduce better gear than specials. Everyone would quit if they were to happen. I think right now, instead of introducing new gear and new specials, they should just focus on introducing a new way. I mean, introducing improvements to the fodder drop. Make it more easier to get fodder. Ven says, good thing we have you and Wolvethor and Kyger and others too, but that OBE regular though? What is OBE? What is that? I would love to farm fodder. I would love that. Andy, how many people are playing MFR right now? I think, what was it, less than 35,000 people? I wonder how many people are playing Marvel Future Fight though. I bet you that number is way bigger. Way bigger. I meant that one player that won't care enough to search for you guys, he won't be back anymore. A lot of people play Marvel Future Fight. I even play. I tried giving that game a chance. It's just so much going on. I just don't know what to do there. If I took the time, understood everything, and knew how to level up my guys, and kind of knew what to save, knew what to spend on, all that stuff, I would have a way different opinion than what I do now. But it's just spending all that time on another game. MFR already takes up a lot of my time. that I have available. They're gonna come out saying happy anniversary, guys. Have some deals and also nano cards. I hope, yeah. They're gonna get a backlash for waiting too long, though. Even though they do say anything, it's like damage is already done. Damage is already done. It's gonna be nice to hear from them, but you're gonna be prepared to hear a lot of shit. That's easy. Just watch Cynical Alex. I have been. I need to watch his. The thing with like Cynical Alex is like he's already at the end game, so I need to go and watch his. Like, I wonder if he has like beginner's guide or something like that. Ben 2K says, if I was to start there with what I know now, I wouldn't start Marvel Future Fight. Worst thing would be if they took to confirm that the Wolverine update was the anniversary. That would be the worst thing. I think that even though it would be bad, it would be good. Because now we don't have to wait. We know, like, all right, you know what? That sucks. That they really didn't just say happy anniversary and stuff like that. And Wolverine was the anniversary. But then again, Wolverine update was really good. But now I know I can waste my tickets now. Yeah, they should have told us from the start instead of letting us expect something more. Exactly. They will make ranks go to 1,000 before they make legendaries. Yeah. I hope, yeah, wait on that stuff, man. Wait on that stuff. Wait a minute, and then we'll see what happens. I'm over Marvel Future Fight and MCOC. MFR was way better gameplay and content, but the rewards for the time invested are pure garbage. Jin says, yo, Andy, I told you Alex was going to do a video yesterday. You're right, man. You're right. You're right. I went to Twitch and I looked through the stream and I was like, man, am I going to sit here and watch the whole thing? Or am I going to just kind of slowly skip parts? And thankfully, after like maybe 30 minutes of kind of skipping around, I found it. Like literally, I clicked a certain part and it was right before he started talking about it. Rickron says, Marvel Future Fight is that difficult to play. Just level up the right characters for the right game mode. And don't worry about Whale, because you get Q in a match with Whales. You get matched with people in your rank. Ah, that's good. But what do I do over and over again to level up my guy? Do I just do that little story thing? What up, Sazuk? Today's not gonna be a long stream, guys. It's not gonna be a long stream today. I know that right now, going back to the situation and what people feel, and there's a good amount of people who disagree with what we're doing right now, and they feel like we're hurting the game more than doing good. And in reality, our mission here is just to get their attention. We're not trying to break the game. We're trying to put pressure. We're trying to put pressure on the game. Damn, what the hell happened? We're trying to put pressure on the game. The fly went in my mouth or what? I'm gonna keep trying out Marvel Feature Fry. I'll give another. I'll look up Cynical Alex's like earliest videos, like if he has like a beginner guide, or somebody else, and I'll try to like figure out Netmarble targeting Indy. Yeah. Hey, we're not in the CCC anymore, okay, guys? We're not in the CCC anymore. We're worried. We don't know what's going on. You know, if the CCC was still going on and they kind of like told us what's going on, but to kind of like keep it on the low or we can't talk about it, we would have a better understanding. But we don't know what's going on. We're not in the CCC anymore, so you wouldn't have got like me leaking out Wiccan. But it wasn't really a leak, though, actually. It turned out to be that an actual artist put it out on a website. I'm not going to mention the artist's name, but yeah, I wonder if he was allowed to do that or not. I started playing MFR just for 2 to 3 months. I am addicted to it. I enjoy it, and the current situation is making me feel bad. Not even a OG. Yeah, as long as if you're having fun with it right now, keep playing it. And you know, me as a veteran, I still enjoy the game. I'm still playing it, and I'm still having fun. I just want to make sure that we're gonna get like, you know, this game's gonna be supported for years to come. Game is still going to start or not? Is the game still going or ending? It's still gonna go. It's still gonna be alive for like a year or two. Yeah, I fixed it, but it was a shock. Yeah, we all hope so, man. We all hope so, man. Because we don't hate the game, and we're not trying to make these videos to destroy the game. No, we love the game. We want to make this game succeed. We enjoy the memories that we're making in this game. You know, I started this channel and got to know all you guys from this game. It would suck if this game were to close, and I don't think it is. Like I said, I'm riding, we're riding this wave till the wheels fall off, all right? If the game goes down, we're going down with it. But it's gonna be fun. Thanks, buddy. That's a relief. Yeah, man, no problem. We want the game and more to play on PC and all. Yeah, like bring it on consoles and PC, or just a PC mod would be great. But man, that right now, that is not on their list because that would take a lot of resources and a lot of time, a lot of money to make a PC port out of it. So I guess for now you have to play LD player. For a more epic invasion, they can add Galactus or Null. It would be a great for real. It would, man. It would. I just won't. I'm not gonna expect anything like that to happen anytime soon. As much as we want to be like, oh, they need to add this mode, they need to add this, or they need to add new gear, stuff like that. Finish whatever they have working on right now. You know, we know that they have Savage Land in the works. Finish that. We know that Wiccan is either a PC or a companion, possibly a companion. Just finish that. It seems like they're probably just gonna keep coming out with companions, and if they can keep coming out with new players like every 3 months, okay. But I'm not gonna expect a new game mode. Silver Surfer PC win. I think around the time Fantastic Four comes out and they start teasing, I don't know, honestly. Silver Surfer would be cool. Does he have any different outfits though? Is he just silver? Does he always just look silver in every? Does he have like, what would his outfits be though? I hope all matters close when they have to start a new game or not new games. That I would love to see Galactus in like the third stage of Dormammu in his Blitz. Yeah, just because it looks so beautiful. Silver Surfer Black. Ah, so Silver Surfer Black. He is on Marvel Future Fight. Yeah, I'm gonna look at Silver Surfer Marvel Future Fight and see. Kind of get an idea. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have Silver Surfer in the game. A Hella Blitz will be good too. Yeah, add another Blitz. Make the old Blitzes like the first Blitz. You know how they're so easy that we don't really do them anymore. But if we can change the difficulty level, the difficulty level, or whatever it's called, and make it harder, but we get better badges. And the upgraded new badges in there? Maybe there. Love from India. Oh, thanks, man. Shout out to India. New meta like CM before. Scarlet Witch, new meta like CM before. Scarlet Witch, yes. Scarlet Witch is a beast. She is just destroying the PvP modes. But if you can land a hit on Scarlet Witch, she goes down, but landing a hit on her is the hard part. The faculty level. Butchering that name so hard, guys. Let's see. I sort of never built him up. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this stream. It's sorry I can't go any longer. It's gonna be a short one today. Gotta get the kids ready and going. We got stuff to do this Friday. But thank you guys so much for coming in here. I didn't actually think I was gonna be able to do a live today, but since my wife is taking way longer than expected to get home, I thought like, all right, we're gonna do a stream then. And we had something to talk about here, guys. So thank you guys for coming in. Hopefully you guys have a good day. As always, like the stream, guys. Like it. It always helps out the channel. You know, that's always said when somebody like, you know, if you can donate. But if you can't, it's as simple as just liking the stream, man. That does wonders for the channel, guys. Also, check out Wolvethor's channel. Go give him a follow. Check out his video. He's the reason why Cynical Alex he's the reason why Cynical Alex made a video on this subject, which is huge. So thanks to Wolvethor for doing that for the community. Thank you guys for coming in here. We had over 100 viewers in this stream. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys, and I'll catch you guys next time.